so spectacular. Open up your aperture. You don't like the light that I be shining, bitch, you Dracula. Southern draw vernacular, flip you like a spatula. Knew that I was built to put this world up on my scapula. I've been on this road so long, my tires bald. I don't wanna text and no, I don't wanna call. Came in this shit running, bitch, I don't know how to crawl. We ain't never folding, I'm holding the highest card. Look, okay, grew up running post routes. Now I'm on the cash route. Better call the plumber, that boy spitting like a bass spout. All these bad women in this club, fuck is you mad about? Word to all my estheticians, boy, I'm about to lash out. Straight from St. John's to the east side, jigging since the knee high. Watch the way I put on for my state, nigga, yeehaw. Respected no everything. Crazy how I made it to the league from the bleach eyes. Boy, my shit hair wrong, black, rich, and bare arms. Smoking on that yogi, this shit stronger than some bare arms. Goku, I'm in rare form, you cannot prepare for him. When I swing, it's like a carnivore, this shit ain't fair for him. Brought intellect back to this rap shit. You niggas need chapstick. Shit been dry for way too long, and I'm the matchstick. You niggas Nickelodeon me, I'm more like Cap Nick. Cap a nigga, throw him in front of me. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said that I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. About to blow like we just lit the fuse. We double dutch into this dough, I get this shit in twos. Push the button, get it started, put that shit in cruise. A little dust up on his heart, I barely get to use. A fool flatters himself, a wise man flatters a fool. Man, I just came to get it started like mechanics with tools. Cause in my hood, if you don't pack a tool, you planning to lose. These young boys deserve Oscars, they be acting a fool. A couple loose screws, but they hammer accurate. Ooh, I know some niggas stuck on drugs and manufacture it too. School of hard knocks, we all got our bachelor's food. No cap and gowns, but we all had the master. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said that I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. I'm lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh rack, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, leaving my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need a break light. Say she don't smoke, but she always smoke with me, yeah. Back with Finny, yeah, back up in the ovaries, yeah. All my ops, they stay running like they over easy, yeah. Even my masseurs can't just get too close to me, yeah. Shout out to Next. Soon as the ink dry, we count out the checks, yeah. I never flex. I bought up a business, you bought up a section. I'm at the top of my class, yeah. Y'all never learned from your lessons. Skywalker gave me the force, yeah. Turned this into an obsession, yeah. I couldn't wait on the team, cooking shit up with just me rowing flag, yeah. Things never are what they seem, but we know the facts, yeah. Charging that shit to the game, but now I pull up with a battery pack, yeah. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and we can just leave it at that. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no brake lights. Big bro, why they call you big bro? Every time we hit the bank, we deposit zip codes. Well connected with the streets like we out in Skid Row.
Kawhi, in regards to the league policy, I think the gist of it is that they want their top 50 stars out on the floor every night if possible. And given that, I'm just wondering if you feel an obligation to play every game.
No, I mean, I'm not a guy that's sitting down because I'm doing a load management. Like, when I was with the Raptors, it was different. Like, I was coming from an injury, and you have to know the details of a doctor. But if the league is seeing or trying to mock what I did with the Raptors, then they should stop because I was injured during that whole year. But other than that, if I'm able to play, I play basketball. You know, I work out every day in the summertime to play the game, not to sit and watch people play. No. So no league policy is helping me to play more games.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos, hit that like button. Y'all coming here, hit the share, subscribe as well. Hit the Cash App, $SlickRick1991 son, $SlickRick1991 son. Also, our Venmo is at BJ/MATGWS/1. There's our Venmo. If you guys like what y'all hear, make sure you guys continue to follow us on the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, as well as super stickers and super comments are available. Very simple. All you guys gotta do, hit that button with the $symbol right there in the chat box. Y'all can donate that way as well. But let's get it popping. All right, so we back with another show, y'all, talking about media narratives destroyed. And the first episode I did was with Russell Westbrook. That was my first episode. And all media narrative chronicles, I'm actually starting this series. It's speaking about players who I feel, and not just players, but situations and teams I feel like have certain narratives built around them that need to be, knocked off. And, I started this new series, simply just highlighting, another thing, for my audience to, constantly, tap into. Of course, I got the car combos with B Jizzle, LA Clipper Talk, and, speaking about, all these different teams around the league, some, having more people come in and be a part of the Pull Up Basketball family. So I'm very excited about this Media Chronicles series as well to destroy a lot of these narratives, because they call me, the narrative killer. All right, so this is definitely pre-recorded, so make sure y'all sit back and relax, and feel free to like and share and subscribe and comment, all that good stuff. Have a drink and relax on this beautiful Sunday morning. So we are going to dive into who's my favorite player. We're going to talk about a guy who is basically one of the top players in the league. He's a two-time champion, a two-time Finals MVP, he's a two-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a six-time All-Star. He is a player that, in the playoffs, that's where he puts his cape on. He is respected by many of his peers around the NBA and his team and all that good stuff. And I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard. Now, when it talks about narratives and what the media speaks about, there's a lot of things that we have to go into. The number one thing we're going to talk about is Kawhi Leonard being low management and not playing these games. That is the biggest narrative, that he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to, be out there and suit up. And, he's quote unquote taking and stealing money. Now, it's fun to joke about Kawhi Leonard to the outsiders because it's easy. Unfortunately, as all the stuff I just named that was great about Kawhi Leonard, he has not been available the last four postseasons. From 2021 all the way to 2024, he has not been available in any postseasons. Not to mention, he ain't been just not available, but I had a friend. I have a friend that, I played college ball with. He's from Toronto. Bred and born. He played for the he's from Toronto. He played with me in college. And of course, he's a Raptor fan, and he recalls the 2019 finals with that year with Kawhi Leonard being moved there. We had a conversation the other day, and he was telling me, asking me a question. He said, "BJ, when is the last time Kawhi Leonard has been healthy, finishing a playoff run in a regular season, like a regular year?" And of course, I went with the whole, he finished in 2020 in the bubble. He said, yeah, but was that like a normal year, because you had like a 3-4 month break or somewhere around that with COVID? I'm saying, oh yeah, you're right. We did have a break. And then he went on to 2019, and I said, okay, he finished that year. I said, well, he told me, well, yeah, he finished, but he wasn't healthy. He wasn't finished at all. He was limping around, he was hurt. He was playing on one leg. He had to get surgery after that playoff run. Okay, I was like, yeah, he wasn't healthy. He finished, but he wasn't quote unquote healthy. He said 2018, he didn't play, played 9 games that year. 2017, he got hurt against the Warriors in game 1 in the Western Conference Finals. He didn't finish that year. And then I said, okay, well, 2016 against OKC was the last time he finished healthy. And he said, exactly. So think about that. That's essentially 8 seasons, 8 years that this man, you could say, finished a playoff run healthy, right? He finished the entire playoff run healthy where he had no injuries. He didn't have to have surgery. He was playing, he can go into the next season, perfectly fine. And I was like, wow, yeah, you're exactly right. So a lot of people don't think about that. This year I took the approach with the Clippers, and I think a lot of people need to understand this. I'm going with the wait and see game. Why is that? Because Kawhi Leonard hasn't given us a reason to feel like he's going to finish. Now, I think he will finish. My faith is that he will finish this year. But I understand the people who do not believe that. Because when I just named what I just said, he hasn't been completely healthy since 2016, where you could say he didn't have no surgeries, he didn't have nothing to, he can go into next season without having to go through training camp, and he can do that without having to have any type of, ramifications. So that's when I think that was the last time. But I digress from that. I want to talk about this narrative built around Kawhi Leonard. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't, take the game serious. He's quote unquote, hoodwinking the Clippers. That clip that I just played y'all was Kawhi Leonard speaking on media day, and he spoke about the league policy of players for being forced to play, and he spoke about saying like, okay, well, no league policy is making me play more games. If I'm healthy to play, I'm going to play. If I don't want to play, I'm not going to play. If I can't play, I can't play. I play both ends of the floor. I play hard. I see the best players every single night, or the best players see me on the offensive end. I train and I work out in the off season to play the game, not to sit out. And that's the one thing I wanted to put out there too for the people that don't play. Understand that the hardest part is not the training. It's the work. It's not the playing games. It's the training. It's the days and the hours throughout the off season, the summertime, where you're in the weight room, you're on the track, you're on the court, doing drills, hours upon hours, racking up those drills up to, make sure you're prepared for the regular season. Those are the days, that unseen hours that people don't see. That's the hard part. The easy part is when you step out on the floor, you get a chance to be there with your teammates. You get a chance to hear your name being shouted out. You get a chance to be out there on the court. That's the fun part, right? That's the thing I want people to understand. That this man said, basically, I'm not sitting out on games on purpose. I want to play. If I didn't want to play, why am I training as hard as I do in the off season? Just to not play, just to sit out, just to, this, that, and the other. There's no point of it. Now, if we look at Kawhi Leonard's career, I want to put something out here. And, him playing, through the regular season and stuff like that. I want to put out, his games played and games starting, all that stuff. So Kawhi Leonard came onto the scene in 2011 with the San Antonio Spurs. Okay, he started in 2011. Y'all can see right here the regular season averages. This column right here, games played, 64, 58, 66, 64, 72, 74. So from 2011 to 2016, 2017, Kawhi Leonard was probably the most healthy he's ever been. As far as him playing the most games he could play, starting, not having really games where he was, sitting out. That was probably the most healthiest you saw with Kawhi Leonard, right? Now, after that, after 2017, he started having those injuries. His left knee against the San Antonio Spurs, or it was his quad, where he got hurt, and he went into the next season. He tried to play, which people don't talk about. After he got hurt in 2016, 2017, he tried to play the next year and only could play 9 games. This is where the whole, surprise came around upon him. And he chose to shut it down because he said to himself, he cannot be out there. The Spurs were not, they were clearing him, saying he could play. He was available to play, all this stuff, this, that, and the other. And Kawhi said, no, I'm not ready to play. Now, there's speculation that Kawhi Leonard quit on that team, and Skip Bayless is the guy that, chose to report that. Now, I will let Skip Bayless come out and say what he thinks about that because, you know, to be fair, he has been, you know, spot on when it comes to Kawhi's personal situations. So if he quit on the Spurs and he didn't, you know, want to be there no more and he asked for a trade, I'm just gonna go with Skip Bayless saying that. And if I'm gonna be against him, man, the reason why he did say that he didn't want to be there is because the Spurs basically disrespected him, saying that, you know, he wasn't hurt, he didn't want to play, and then you had Greg Popovich and, you know, players like that, Tony Parker, playing, you know, mind games with him, thinking that was gonna work on Kawhi Leonard. And as they found out the hard way, certain people that you try to use those mind control tricks on, you know, that military, you know, mind games with, like you could control and manipulate people. Certain people ain't going for that. Kawhi Leonard was already kind of turned off about the culture there anyway. When Tim Duncan retired, I think that's what really kind of put Kawhi in a position where he didn't really want to deal with the Spurs culture. I think Tim Duncan was able to be the bridge on a lot of that stuff. But when Tony Parker and Greg Popovich chose to try and, you know, tell the media that they, you know, that basically try to paint Kawhi Leonard as the guy that, you know, was not being responsive, not being talkative to the team and stuff like that, I think that rubbed Kawhi the wrong way. And Kawhi's one of those type of people. He's quiet in nature, meaning that he's not going to tell you what he's going to do before he does it. As y'all come near, smash that like button. Right? There's those certain people in this world when you disrespect them or you try to, you know, go against what they do, and then you're first of all, you're around them every single day in the off season or, you know, every day in the in season. You watch how this guy works out. Everybody says he's in the gym, which we're going to talk about that in a minute, that he's a workout warrior. Right? As y'all saw the first few years before this injury, Kawhi was playing every single game he could play. He was starting. He was playing both ends of the court. Right? He was doing everything. He was the perfect, you know, workaholic. But then as soon as the Spurs didn't do what he wanted them to do, or Kawhi didn't do what they wanted him to do, and he said, I'm going to take my time with this injury. I just need y'all to support me and keep this private and personal. That's when I think Kawhi Leonard said, okay, this is kind of like a snake move. So I'm going to go and let y'all hear a few years ago what Greg Popovich and Tony Parker did that I think started this whole rift between Kawhi and the organization. All right, so we're going to listen to a little soundbite between LaMarcus Aldridge, Steven Jackson, and Matt Barnes, All the Smoke, which is a podcast, a popular Hoop podcast. I love watching player podcasts like this because it goes into deep detail what goes on behind the scenes. But LaMarcus Aldridge and Steven Jackson were two players that used to play for the San Antonio Spurs, and they highlighted the Kawhi Leonard situation on why he left. And they're going to tell you what's the reason why, because, again, Kawhi Leonard talks to Steven Jackson. They actually do, behind the scenes, they do talk. And what the, you know, the culture is and things of that nature, where I think that's what kind of, you know, started with Kawhi Leonard saying, because the start and the end of what happened. So I'm going to let y'all hear, you know, it's like a little minute and a half snake bit, and then we'll be able to, you know, come back to this. All right, here we go.
Ready to go. Even when even when you're there, certain shit is never told to everybody. Like, some shit stays behind closed doors. So no one knows all the shit but them. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit was going back and forth with them, but we don't know what was going on.
And coming from our dynamic, you got to be a strong-willed and a strong-minded brother to make it on San Antonio Spurs organization. Yeah. Because Pop is going to test you, and he's trying to make you a better person, but he's going to put you in a lot of situations to test you. You know what I'm saying? He did it to me. He did it to Kawhi. He did it to other people, but me and Kawhi couldn't take that shit. Okay? That's just what it was. We couldn't take that shit, dog. We want to hoop. We don't want to be in the corner all, you know what I'm saying? We want to ISO. We don't want to run pick and roll. You know what I'm saying? That was Kawhi's attitude. He really wanted to hoop, bro.
No, he did.
And when the injury stuff came down, how they didn't fight for him in public. Like Tony had an injury.
That was
Tony was out a long time.
That was the end.
Kawhi never said nothing. There was question about why Kawhi was out, and Tony was like, well, I had the same injury, and I came back questioning if he really hurt on national TV. That pushed him right out the door. For those that didn't know.
And if you can see his face when you talk, chill, bro. That's a good ass painting over there, bro. Shit. I didn't see that shit at first. That's dope. That's a good ass painting over there, bro.
Hey, man. I'm a part of the organization, so you know what I'm saying? I hear shit too.
Man,
You know what I mean?
it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna speak for nobody, but bro, I think he didn't want to like do all like the other shit that popped it too, like the learning shit.
Mhm.
He just want to hoop.
He just wanted to
Like,
hoop.
everybody don't want to learn about Western Africa or
None of that.
learn the maps, and he just wanted to hoop. Which I ain't saying right or wrong, just didn't want to do that.
All right, so y'all heard it from the horse's mouth right there. Those are two guys that used to play for the San Antonio Spurs, and as y'all come there, smash the like button. This is Media Narratives Destroyed with Kawhi Leonard. And basically what I'm doing is destroying the narrative that Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play, and Kawhi Leonard is a player that just, wants to sit on the bench and this, that, and the other, and how the media has baited their business to try and point this narrative about Kawhi Leonard. A lot of people have eaten it up. And I'm just going through one by one what's really the situation. But y'all heard it from Steven Jackson and LaMarcus Aldridge that this guy was basically a player that, in San Antonio, when he was there, he was tested by Greg Popovich. And not to say Greg Popovich wasn't a good person. I think Greg Popovich, I've heard a lot of good things about him. He loves his players. He loves his team. But there is a certain level of control he must have to, continuously keep his, order. Like I said, he comes from the military background. That's what he comes from. That's just naturally ingrained in him. So with that being said, like, it's not going to be something where, the players really have much control. And so when Kawhi Leonard comes in there and he's not like, a young Tony Parker or a young Manu Ginobili or a younger Tim Duncan or whatever, who, that it's a dictatorship and not a, democracy, Greg Popovich a little bit, rubbed the wrong way. And, with Kawhi Leonard, you can't really get him to talk and get his emotions. Like, he's not going to tell you how he feels, especially if you're trying to do, sideways stuff. It's going to get you more frustrated. See, people who like to be in control and they can't get in your mind, that makes them more frustrated. They try more tactics. So I remember that summer in 2018, 29. I remember that summer in 2018 that they tried a lot of different things to try to get this guy to, converge. And, Kawhi Leonard was not, converging. As a matter of fact, it drew him further and further away from the team. He was not coming to games anymore. He wasn't, showing up to, workouts other than, by himself in private. He was rehabbing in New York. So after the season after that happened, all the tactics didn't work. There was a source that Greg Popovich traveled to California to meet Kawhi Leonard. Right? This was in the summer of 2018. This is right after the season ended. Kawhi Leonard at the point was to the point where he was, pretty much out the door, and Greg Popovich knew it. So he said the only alternative he had was to fly to California. Now, Greg Popovich does, like I said, have a relationship with Kawhi Leonard, but I think the problem is that instead of basically defending him and saying to the media like he's doing now, when the Spurs fans were booing him last year, a couple years ago, stop booing him, going out of his way. He just chose to let the media continuously say what they wanted to say. Never said that Kawhi Leonard will be back with us. Kawhi Leonard, we're in communication with him, and all that stuff. He started saying stuff like, you got to ask his people about that. You got to, and you have people saying what the Spurs are just basically, destroying him. Because deep down inside, Greg Popovich wanted Kawhi Leonard back on the court, and the only way he could get him back on the court is somewhat having to shame him. Same thing with Tony Parker, saying slick stuff like, my injury was much times worse. Well, Steven Jackson promoted, say that, Tony Parker had an injury. Kawhi didn't say anything. This is why I say I will never question a man's injury. You don't do that in sports. That's the unwritten rule. You do not question another player's injury because you're not in his body. So Greg Popovich goes to an even deeper task to fly to San Diego. Shout out to the SD, shout out to the 619, and tries to get Kawhi Leonard back to his good graces. Let's read. San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich traveled Tuesday to Southern California and met with Kawhi Leonard prior to Thursday's NBA draft, lead sources told ESPN. For weeks, Popovich has been working to set up a meeting with Leonard to discuss the issues that have fractured the franchise relationship with the NBA All-NBA forward and caused him to make him public in the media his desire to be traded, league sources said. He said Leonard wants to trade to Los Angeles, preferably the Lakers over the Clippers. This is before LeBron James got there. He has privately maintained that he no longer wants to play in San Antonio and will eventually alert rival teams concerning trades for him, that his intention to sign in Los Angeles when he became a free agent in 2019. Right? So as y'all can see right here, he's already announced that he doesn't want to be in San Antonio anymore. People say it's because, the Spurs medical staff tried to, he didn't want to play and the Spurs, called him out and all this. Nah, it's because he thought he had a relationship with these people, with the Spurs. As I just showed y'all before, he was playing all the games. He was being productive. He was running through a wall through his team. He thought that was a good relationship. And, they come to find out that this organization only cares. They put winning over his health. The man's telling you something's not right, and instead of backing him up publicly, because he got you a championship, got you to two NBA Finals appearances in a row, the only time in y'all own franchise history, even with Tim Duncan being there. This is y'all cornerstone franchise player. And instead, you guys chose to somewhat demonize him and allow the media to pile up on him. And that's why I think the relationship, went fractured. That's the beginning, though, of everybody saying Kawhi Leonard, wants to be on load management and things of that nature. But it was basically just, he felt like the relationship was fractured and he felt like there was a betrayal there. And people like Kawhi Leonard, when you stab them in the back, they're not giving you a second chance to do it again. And that's the problem with certain people. They think that they can come around and do stuff and there ain't no repercussions. And it ain't until when you're gone, they start feeling a certain way. And since then, the Spurs have not been able to be productive and get back to, what they were. So I just want to put that out there. That's the reason why he left the Spurs, because of the relationship. It wasn't because of Uncle Dennis or, anything of that out. Kawhi doesn't want to play and all this nonsense. That's all cap. But, he leaves San Antonio. He goes to Toronto. He plays hurt in that, playoff run. He gets him a championship and his career is back reamped again. Now, as time has went on, since then, like I said, 2019, that's the time he won a championship. And then since then, he's been dealing with he hasn't been able to finish a playoff run since 2020 in the bubble. Now, this is where the narratives start getting popped up again that Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce that to y'all in a minute, but y'all continuously smash that like button. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to fast forward to today. In the last couple of years, we're going to talk about a man who has basically made it his business to try and put out there just how bad Kawhi Leonard is as a superstar, as a as a leader, as a this, that, and the other. And he's the poster child of load management, like people want to put out there. This guy he gets his check and then he sits down and all this. So I want to actually let y'all hear what this man had to say, Stephen A. Smith, in a number of sound bites. So here we go.
I'm dead serious when I say this. Kawhi Leonard is the absolute worst superstar that a team can have. Period. People are misconstruing what I'm saying. He is a superstar, a champion, a two-time champion, two-time NBA Finals MVP. Kawhi Leonard is a superstar and a stud. And any team that has him healthy is a bona fide championship contender. If Kawhi Leonard was healthy and stayed healthy, the Clippers could win it all. But he does nothing to market the sport. So if you're missing 48% of your games and you're doing nothing in that time to help market your team or market the sport, how are you worth the money? Kawhi Leonard dropping 40 one night, 38 the next. The next thing you know, the next day he ain't available for shoot around. And then after that, he can't go. Why you think Ty Lue, the coach, looks so miserable all the damn time? Because day to day, he don't know when he's going to hear next that Kawhi Leonard ain't available. I'm dead serious. Los Angeles Clippers are set to open their season in their new arena, the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. Unfortunately for the team, brace yourself. breaking news, surprising news. I mean, it's going to shock you. Kawhi Leonard might not be there because the team ruled him out for the remainder of the preseason due to inflammation in his right knee. Are we going to just say it? The dude is never healthy. He's always hurt. Somehow, some way, whether it's his uncle or whether it's people within his inner circle, this brother is an expert at hoodwinking the Clippers into thinking he's healthy enough just to get a new contract before the minute the ink didn't even dry and his ass can't play. It never fails. Stephen A, too hard. Man, come on, man. Come on, dog. Kawhi Leonard. Yo, man, you too hard on him. The brother misses 46% of his regular season games. He misses 60% of his playoff games. He doesn't show up to work.
Oh man, I have to admit that is funny how he did that. I ain't gonna lie. Stephen A. Smith is an animated cat. As y'all come there, smash that like button. So, low management, missing games, and not marketing the sport. Now, if you heard the first video, Stephen A. Smith said people are misconstruing what he's saying. So he's saying at first that if he's healthy, then the Clippers can win it all. He's not saying it's about injuries. It's not about him not playing as much as it is about him marketing the sport and being able to, do interviews and things of that nature. That's what he said in the first video. That's what you said in the first video. Let me replay it so, people don't think I'm lying. But this is what he said in the first video.
I'm dead serious when I say this. Kawhi Leonard is the absolute worst superstar that a team can have. Period. People are misconstruing what I'm saying. He is a superstar, a champion, a two-time champion, two-time NBA Finals MVP. Kawhi Leonard is a superstar and a stud. And any team that has him healthy is a bona fide championship contender. If Kawhi Leonard was healthy and stayed healthy, the Clippers could win it all. But he does nothing to market the sport. So if you're missing 48% of your games, and you're doing nothing in that time to help market your team or market the sport, how are you worth the money?
Okay, so again, this is what Kawhi Leonard, this is what Stephen A. Smith said originally. He said it was about him marketing the sport. So him, pushing the Clippers and him pushing ratings, I'm guessing, with the Clippers. So I want to ask y'all a question. What does that essentially really mean that he's not marketing the sport? Because he doesn't have a certain personality, because he doesn't talk as much. If he, is it something that Stephen A. Smith is saying that Kawhi Leonard doesn't do? That is why he doesn't really get what he needs to get. So I'm going to take it as he's not doing certain commercials, or he's not speaking enough, or, this, that, and the other, what he's talking about. Let me first revisit something to expose that narrative about he doesn't market the sport, he doesn't market his team, or this, that, and the other. I'm gonna let y'all watch something real quick, and we'll go ahead and take it back from there.
New heights I'm gaining every day. Still I'm praying to heaven I'm bound. Lord, let my feet on higher ground. One more time.
So that looks like a commercial to me, Stephen A. That looks like a commercial. That looks like marketing. That looks like promoting him going to the Clippers after being moved from the Raptors. That is what I call endorsement. That's what I call you going to New Balance, signing with them, a new shoe, marketing the shoe, marketing the company, right? Marketing the Clippers. He said this is his city. right? I remember I saw the right here. Y'all can see right here. This is his city. That looks like Kawhi Leonard. That looks like his car. That looks like his shirt saying New Balance. He's marketing the company. He's marketing the Clippers. He's marketing LA, right? And Stephen A. Smith said he doesn't market the sport. Hmm. Well, maybe that's just one. Maybe we should keep going. Let's keep going.
Hey Arnold.
Welcome to LA. Thank you. Hey, Kawhi.
Oh, hey Arnold.
Welcome to LA. Thank you. It's great to have you here. Plus, it's good to see another Terminator.
I don't know why they call me that.
Because you have zero emotions. You feel no pain. You have no mercy. Trust me, it's a compliment, okay?
Whoa, am I seeing double? Somebody call Sarah Connor.
Well, isn't this cute? A Terminator convention.
He's the real Terminator.
Yeah, well, you're the one with the crazy robot laugh.
It's a totally normal laugh. He's a fun guy.
Good thing. Otherwise, I'd have to terminate you.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stephen A. Smith. This looks like Kawhi Leonard coming in a commercial, speaking with an actor, one of the most famous actors that we know. I don't understand how he doesn't market the sport, and you got actors like Arnold Schwarzenegger basically able to, cross over and, do a commercial with him. So again, he's marketing basketball because everybody is starting to get to know who Kawhi Leonard is. He's opening up, and he's not only doing it within, himself, but he's doing it with other people. So I'm not so sure what Stephen A. Smith is talking about. Oh, I know what he's talking about. Listen, Kawhi Leonard, we know, is not the guy that's going to be coming into any room and just start talking to everybody. And this goes back to what people who want control and they want to have a certain narrative built. If you don't build a narrative around them, if you don't let them inside, they'll build a narrative around you. So what Stephen A. Smith has done has said that Kawhi Leonard doesn't market the sport. Even though I've just shown y'all 2 commercials where Kawhi Leonard is clearly talking, clearly marketing the sport, clearly part of his own shoe endorsement, New Balance. You can see he has a personality, no matter how dry people want to make it seem like. Basically, what I'm saying is that, again, another narrative built that this guy doesn't talk, which I don't understand where that comes from either. Is it because he doesn't talk as much as you want him to, or he doesn't open up as much as you want him to, like LeBron James, like Steph Curry, who wants to be, talking to everybody in the room? Is it because this guy is more quiet? He chooses to be more reserved with what he wants? Let me tell y'all something. Most people just want to get close to you so they can find out how to hurt you, not to help you. And Kawhi Leonard found that out, I believe, at a young age, but I think he really found that out with the Spurs. So he said to himself, I'm not going to keep going. I'm not bringing myself out there to allow somebody to hurt me. So I'm going to keep certain things to me privately, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Stephen A. Smith, who's as big as any type of analyst on TV, has put it out to the masses that he does not market the sport, and he does nothing for the sport marketability. When I just showed y'all two prime commercials that got a lot of coverage, and you can find more, that's just not the case. That's not true. Now, I'm going to go into this last narrative, and then we're going to go ahead and end it there. That this guy doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to get out there. I'm going to allow some people to speak about this that's not Kawhi Leonard about, because my thing is about your peers. It's not about what you say, because, of course, you're going to say what you want. Kawhi Leonard comes out on media day and says, well, he doesn't. Okay, y'all don't believe that? I'm going to let one of his former teammates who he talks about towards this day speak about what it's like being around Kawhi Leonard and what his passion is about basketball. So I'm going to let y'all hear it. So here we go.
We talk about work. you had the opportunity to play with some
Kawhi.
Joel.
Kawhi.
That's the hardest working?
Hardest working motherfucker I've seen in my life.
Okay.
Really? And I mean,
I was
when
just going to ask you who the hardest working.
So when I say
all these.
So when I say hard working, I mean in the weight room, it's LeBron. On the court, it's Kawhi. Together, weight room and court, Kawhi. Not. I ain't seen nobody like him.
So for all you at home, and everybody questions because he's hurt a lot.
That's why he
hear
hurt.
It from the source that the man is the hardest working.
But that's why he be hurt. That's what people don't understand. That's why the mother be hurt. Okay, man, you got to relax, man. Nah. We work out. I think it's COVID. They stopped season. You know me, man, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Go to Chicago, go to Houston? Nah, that. Man, homies, pack up the Sprinter. Man, we driving to San Diego. What? Man, we driving to San Diego, man. That. Hey, Doc, get us some rebounds from the Clippers, bro. I'm driving to San Diego. I'm about to go work out with Kawhi. I gotta see it. I gotta see it up close. I gotta see it. I gotta see what the fuck is he doing, man. They say let me see it. We drive to San Diego, man. We in that motherfucking lab 3 hours. I'm talking about 9 spots. 11 spots. Damn, I ain't never shot 11 spots. Make 20, 11 spots midi. Make 20, 11 spots tray. Make 20, 11 spots pump fake. Make 20, 11 spots pump fake tray. Like, make 20, 11 spots out there. I'm usually 5, maybe 7, maybe 9. You feel me? You do the 9 spots, 11?
Man.
If you miss
20 together or 20 by yourself?
No. Together. But
Okay.
if you miss 18, you go back down to 15. You gotta have the last 3 in a row. No, this spot, Pat, this spot, okay, cool. We got last 5 in a row. Type.
I tell you, it's important that you say that because the narrative around him is that he doesn't like it. It's
No.
you know, I know, but you knew how it is because
too much.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's great that you say this because, and you did touch on it there a second. Yeah, for sure. Because you know, you go through the injuries he's gone through, and it's natural.
Yeah.
Everyone, he don't want to play, blah blah blah.
So that is Patrick Beverley who spoke about Kawhi Leonard's injury. As y'all come in here, make sure y'all smash that like button. I'm just going by narrative on narrative. The first narrative that I expose is that this guy, quote unquote, doesn't want to play as far as, sitting out of games on purpose for load management. That's the one narrative I'm exposing. The second narrative I'm exposing now is, or I exposed with Stephen A. Smith talking about Kawhi Leonard as a market the sport, where I basically put out certain things like commercials and how he's, now endorsed with New Balance and, things of that nature, that he does market the sport, which was another narrative he put out there. The third narrative I'm now exposing is that Kawhi Leonard does not want to play at all, and he doesn't take the sport seriously. As y'all see with Patrick Beverley, one of his closest friends who he talks to this day, one of his teammates that he sees day in and day out practicing in games, what better person to ask than him? See, the problem is I keep running into is these people who never were around Kawhi Leonard, who have nothing but subjective opinions and can't get close to him, speaking on his behalf. And that's why I can't really take you serious, because how am I supposed to say, well, how much inside information do you have on somebody that doesn't really have any type of connection? But this is a perfect person right here. He went to San Diego, which Kawhi Leonard has a house out here, and he spoke and he basically said he wants to go work out with Kawhi Leonard, and he got the inside scoop what it is in a day or in a week with Kawhi Leonard. And the guy's the hardest working player in the NBA he's ever been around, over LeBron James, over Steph Curry, over James Harden, over any of his other teammates, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because he just not the weight room, but on the court, the guy's a machine. But you'll never hear stuff like this. People are wide-eyed. You heard Udonis Haslem say, wow, really? You hear Mike Miller and all talking about this is great that y'all hear this type of stuff. And these are the stories people need to hear, because too many narratives are being built by guys and dumbasses who don't ever get a chance to be around these players. And that's probably why you see a lot of people a little salty, because they basically cannot get close to him. Kawhi Leonard ain't letting you close to him. He doesn't trust you. I have a source. I have a person I know very well who was a assistant coach for the Clippers a couple years ago who spoke about Kawhi Leonard. I had him on my show. Right? Coach Chad Bell. Go check him out. He's, you can look him up. He was a Clippers assistant a couple years ago. He was at the Kings last year. Right? When Kawhi first got to the Clippers, he basically basically had to, feel Chad out. Basically, Kawhi's not the type of person to just run up to you and start talking. He's gonna watch you from a distance. He's gonna watch how you move with certain people, with certain players. He's gonna see if how you act is congruent to who you really are. It took him a while to open up to him, but after some time, he would ask Chad, "Hey, let's get some work in after practice. Let's, can you help me with this? Help me with that?" And Chad eventually started, being closer to Kawhi. And now to this day they have a relationship, and that's the type of person he is. It takes him a while for him to warm up to you. If he ain't warming up to you, then he ain't messing with you. That's just how it is. But narratives will be destroyed here that this guy doesn't want to play. I'm gonna get y'all another person. Right? This guy I'm gonna talk to y'all about probably in my next narrative. Speaking about Kawhi doesn't want to play. I'm gonna let y'all hear what this man had to say, and let y'all hear what he says about people saying Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play. So here we go.
Which you try to play through injuries. Like that's the goal. If you can play through it, you're gonna play through it. If you can't, there's a reason why. Like nobody wants to sit out for no reason. Like you can't play through that shit because you won't be yourself. Like, and what's the point of going out there and be like giving? I heard Stephen A. talking about he could have Kawhi could have gave you 10 minutes or 5 minutes, bro. It's not about that. Like if I got to go on the floor and I can't be myself, then what the fuck am I on the floor for? I'm liable to get even more hurt because I'm not myself. So I'm overcompensating, trying to do shit that I know I can't do. Like it was a dumb take.
Have Stephen A. Smith played any professional sports?
Hell no.
Exactly. So he shouldn't even be speaking on what y'all got to go through every day to put y'all jersey on y'all back. Y'all jump up and down, run up and back and forth. Like, you don't think somebody eventually gonna get hurt and their body not gonna break down?
Right.
Yeah, we give all the ones credit who fight through them and everything, but you can't fight through every injury.
You can't fight through every.
I wasn't upset that you didn't. I was upset that you didn't play in this series, but I was more happy that you was taking care of your fucking knee than getting in this fucking series just to win a game. If y'all would have made the next round, I would have been all like, "Come on, P, get in the game." You know what I'm saying? You ready? But Stephen A. Smith, you got to stop with that with these players. I know you was mad at Kawhi, but Kawhi is injured. He played the first game, he got injured. Second game, gave you 30 or 40 some points. Third game, he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
See, and that's where I get kind of confused what Stephen A. Smith's beef is. Is it about him not marking the game, or is him not going through and playing through certain injuries? What is it? Which one is it about? Because I kind of see you keep changing it. I mean, you said it was about first him not coming back and giving you 5-10 minutes. Or was that him and that guy Russo, that idiot who never played any basketball, the older Caucasian guy? Y'all were on the set talking about when Kawhi Leonard could not go after that game 2 against Phoenix. And it was announced he was playing on a torn meniscus. So he was playing on that since game 1 where he dropped 38 points and he dropped 32 points in the second game. That's where I don't understand what Stephen A. Smith, which one is it? Is it about that, or is it about you not saying Kawhi Leonard doesn't market the sport? Because I just showed he has many commercials that he markets the sport. His teammates say he does talk, right? He is a funny person to be around. So I'm just confused on what is it that Stephen A. Smith's real issue, what is his beef with? It's because I think personally, my thing, his beef is that he will not allow Kawhi Leonard to get close to him, right? If he don't, and that's why I say, if people can't get close to you, and I've met Stephen A. Smith a couple times, I'm not gonna go into who his personal life and anything like that, but I do believe he does enjoy being seen. He does like to be the quote unquote talking point of the room. And when you come across a guy like Kawhi Leonard who doesn't really acknowledge you or anything of that nature, he's kind of like a how dare you moment. You almost feel like you sticking your nose up, you think you're too good or whatever. Like that's the itch I get off of Stephen A. Smith. Like if you don't acknowledge him and you're on that level, then he kind of takes a little bit personal. But guys like LeBron, guys like Steph, guys like that, he basically, Marvel alert. KD is a guy that, I think claps back at Stephen A. Smith, and even if it's negative reaction, it's better than no reaction if according to him. So he'll still give Kevin Durant his flowers, and he might fall out with him. He'll be back with him. It's like a make-up breakup situation with those two. But Kawhi Leonard ain't giving you nothing. He ain't giving you no coverage. He's not giving you no interview. He's not giving you nothing. And I think that bothers him. And I think that does, that's why y'all are seeing him continuously go at Kawhi Leonard time and time again. I don't see how you can go over a person that doesn't even talk to you like you talking to the wall. It's the same thing with Russell Westbrook and Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless going at Russell Westbrook all these years because he had a personal axe to grind with Russell Westbrook since 2012, where he received death threats from OKC Thunder fans who felt offended when he talked about Russell Westbrook. So since then, he has not gotten over that. And I think that's what you're seeing with Stephen A. Smith. He's not going to get over Kawhi Leonard not speaking to him, not giving him any coverage. And it makes people more frustrated. Greg Popovich got frustrated to the point where he's like, please forgive me. I'm sorry. We'll do anything. We will give you half of our salaries. Please come back. Do not leave the Spurs organization. Nope. I'm good. You had your chance to defend me. You had a chance to have my back. You guys saw me day in and day out, working hard. And that's when y'all crossed the line. So I would like to be traded. And since then, the Spurs, again, karma, the Spurs have not been relevant since. They're now just starting to get some type of coverage with Wemby. But still, you're talking about an organization who was a playoff team year in and year out. People forget the Spurs were a playoff team year in and year out. Now they look like a borderline, like quote unquote playing team. And this is under the great Greg Popovich. So that goes to show you too. And I know Greg Popovich is dealing with some health problems, so I hope he gets well. But I'm just giving y'all facts. If he's such a great coach, there's no way you have a team that low in the standings. I'm not saying you got to be like a top 4, top 16, but you can't be coming in 13, 14 year in and year out because you don't have a star. I mean, hell, even Ty Lue had a bunch of role players in 21, 2022 with no Kawhi Leonard, no Paul George for a certain period of time. Right? He gave the offense to Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris, who are now pretty much out the league at this point. I mean, you got to be able to elevate these other players. But I think Greg Popovich is so caught up in the old school way of coaching that it's hard for him to relate to certain people, certain players. There's only certain people that get drafted by the Spurs for the most part. But I digress from that. My point is that the narrative of Kawhi Leonard not wanting to play, the narrative that Kawhi Leonard doesn't work out hard in the offseason to not play in the in-season, the narrative that he does not promote the sport, all these narratives are cap. Now, the one thing I will say that I will say that Stephen A. Smith has a point is that the fact that you are missing over 40% of your playoff games is a problem. This is where I tell people who are Kawhi Leonard fans, y'all have got to stop blaming other people for what has happened to him. Blaming his teammates for not carrying the fort where he was brought here to carry this team. And I know he got hurt, but you got to call it what it is. His injuries have been the reason we ain't been winning. And no amount of trades that y'all make are going to fix that. And no Kawhi Leonard fans want to call that out. They don't want to call it what it really is. They want to blame it on everybody else, all his teammates, his coaches. We got to move this player, we got to move that player. When in reality, it's just about Kawhi Leonard not being healthy the last 4 seasons. Because they don't want to put the onus on Kawhi Leonard because that's going to make him look bad. So that's the only thing I will say that I will push back on. But other than that, man, all this other stuff about him not wanting to play and not taking the game seriously and then him not, it's all cap. So this was episode 2 of Media Chronicles Destroy. I hope that y'all enjoyed it, man. Continuously check out the rest of these videos. I got more videos coming this upcoming week. But until next time, pull up, see, pull up, check, pull out. Peace.